Okay, it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 minute after the normal time to begin. So we will begin. So welcome to all the participants who are online this night or this afternoon. For those who are in China, you are in the middle of the night. Thank you for joining. For those who are in United States, you are just for the lunch. And for those who are in Europe, you're at the end of the afternoon. Professor Paulet, can you introduce yourself, please?
So I'm Elisabeth Paulet. I'm from ICN. I'm a professor in finance and banking.
Okay. My name is Michel Calica. I am emeritus professor from the University of Lyon after being professor in different universities in France, in Paris Dauphine, in the University of Strasbourg. And now I am president of Business Science Institute. And we'll talk about it in a few minutes. For all information, you can use the email contact@business-science-institute.com. And let's go. Technical advice at the end. After the presentation, you will be able to ask any question, and we will tell you how it will work. Some technical advice. So you are a lot of people are connected tonight, so the microphones are not open, but you can always send us some message or send us some questions, either through the chat, either through Q&A. And thank you also to Frédéric, who is part of the support team of the Business Science Institute, for being here and being able to give you some advice. And anyway, if you have any question after the webinar, you will be able to send us your question to this generic email. Okay. So the Business Science Institute in a few words. 10 years ago, we created the Business Science Institute with an idea. We had an idea in mind. It was to create a program that can meet the demand of a manager, experienced manager, holding an MBA or the equivalent of an MBA. And this manager, they wanted to take a step back from their managerial experience. They wanted to reflect on, and also they were thinking about writing a thesis and publish a book. And that's the reason why we created this non-for-profit organization 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. So today, in May 2023, Business Science Institute is an international academic network organization which focus only on a DBA program for a manager. I'm professor of strategy, and of course, it's a specialization strategy. We are a non-for-profit organization. We are very proud to be one of the 10 AMBA accredited DBA since December 2020. We have today around 235 doctoral students. The average age is 45, 46. We are open in the world, nearly 60 groups in more than 10 countries. And our students, they come from 50 different nationalities. We teach face-to-face, and we teach also online since a long time. We are very proud also about the number of theses defended in March 2023. More than 135 DBA theses were defended, and we have more than 130 professors. Among them, 80 are fellows. It means that they teach and they supervise theses. We teach in English, in French, in German, face-to-face and online. I said that before. And we plan also to teach in Spanish at the end of this year. One characteristic of our institute is to publish books. We publish 45 books in a printed version and online version. Another important point, and I will come back on that later, we have a partnership since not the beginning, but since 8 years with the University of Lyon, IEA Lyon. And our students are automatically registered in the University of Lyon, and at the end of the process, they receive 2 degrees. And very proud also, and very glad to have a partnership with ICN Business School for this group in sustainable innovation management. We are also an affordable program, and it's one of our characteristics. You can find all the information on Business Science Institute on our website, which is in English, in French, and in German. Maybe I can give you the floor now, Elizabeth.
Yes, I mean the partnership with ICN. ICN is a French business school, and we have for long time. We are based in Nancy, Paris, and Berlin, and we have the triple crown. That means EQUIS, ACSB, and NBI, and we are ranked on the Financial Times. We have more than 3,000 students. I think it's 500 students at the moment. We have 80 core faculty, among them a lot of international faculty, and we have 70,000, 1,500 graduates all over the world. Our mission is to provide innovative and transdisciplinary education that enables students to become responsible professionals capable of acting in the global environment. That means we put an emphasis on transdisciplinarity and innovation, and this is why we create this DBA in innovation and sustainability. Okay, next slide.
It's done. You see it.
So why to join this DBA? First, to transform your managerial practice. That means in this DBA, we put an emphasis on managerial aspects. And this is what is the distinction between the PhD and the DBA. Managerial aspects are extremely important. You will learn also to apply rigorous academic research for immediate impact on the business world. That it means that the methodology you will use in DBA is not lower than in a PhD, it's just different, okay? You will have the possibility to use art technology management, which is the DNA of our institution, and to put an emphasis on creativity and innovation. The courses are online to enable all of you to continue to work while doing your DBA. And you will have an individual supervisor to help you, to monitor help you when you have difficulties during the journey of the research, which is not, evident sometimes. Okay.
Thank you. So Professor Paulet, you were just talking about impact, and maybe we can highlight the fact that for us, a DBA is more than a degree. And that's an important issue. For us, a DBA is a way to create impact. Of course, a DBA is based on a conceptual reflection, theoretical issues. But in a DBA, you have always, it's mandatory, a feedback to the field, a feedback to practice. And that's why we created an annual DBA managerial impact prize. And for us, that's very important to highlight that element. Of course, we are AMBA accredited program. I mentioned that before. And for AMBA, you know, they said in AMBA is the UK accreditation, they say that a DBA is a PhD plus. And I ask them, why do you say plus? And they say because it is the same fundamental element than in a PhD, but the plus mean managerial recommendation, managerial impact. And that's, you have to understand that one of the main characteristics of the DBA for us to be a degree, to be a program with an impact, with a managerial impact, and sometimes also a societal impact. We have been talking about the degree. You receive the degree from ICN, and you receive the degree from Business Science Institute, and you receive also the degree from the University of Lyon. Okay. One of our characteristics in Business Science Institute is to publish books in English, books in French, and here you have some example. There are two objectives to this collection of books. The first objective, and we publish more than 45 books, and 50% of them have been written by our faculty member. The first objective of this book is to be very clear with our doctoral students. We explain them very clearly through all our book. We explain them the expectation of the program. And of course, you will have a book on data analysis, on theory elaboration, how to complete your DBA. And you have a book also written by our alumni. It's a doctor advising doctoral students. And that's an important issue. It is the first objective of our book is to make our faculty communicate very clearly with our doctoral students. And the second objective of this collection of books is to permit to our doctor, to our alumni, to publish a book on the result of their thesis, and to publish a book on the impact they do create. Now we can move to the program. Please, Professor Paulet.
So where is the slide? I mean, you will have different steps in this program. Like in every doctoral program, the first step will be to give you the tools to be capable of having a clear research questions, have an idea of where to find your data, and have also an idea of the specialization on which you are going to write your DBA. So that's why the first year you would have all these elements taught in the program, and it will be stage 1. The stage 2 will be to basically to write and to organize your DBA. And you will have for that a supervisor, which is an experienced professor who knows perfectly well the research, and he will give you advice all through the journey of your DBA. And normally the stage 3 is the completion of the thesis. That means you have all the elements to write your DBA. You will put it in a document, and you will have a public defense in front of an international panel of professors, which would ask you questions on what you have done and what are the limits, etc. So you have 3 steps to reach the point have the diploma. Okay? Clear?
One of the characteristics of our program is to give to the students an outstanding faculty. Please, Elizabeth, Professor Paulet.
So you will see that in our panel, you will have a French professor, I mean, Mascola Jean, Bengozi Pierre-Jean, Rebecca Stekolorum, and you will also have an international faculty like Olivier Berton, who is German, Nicolas Renéry, who is French, but he has lived for several years in Canada and in Germany. Is British, and Kamel is coming from Tunisia. So all of them are specialists in a certain fields, and they would try to give you the point of the knowledge at today, at the current date, and also to open your mind on new research which could be useful to write your documents, to answer your research question, etc. So you see, you have a very diversified international professor who will help you during your study.
Okay. All the professors, of course, they publish in international journals, and they are recognized researcher. Here, it's only an example of the faculty, because you have 80 faculty member in ICN, you have also 80 faculty member in Business Science Institute, and an important point is to know that you have access to all these professors, and your supervisor can be somebody else than the people. Don't you have the photo here tonight on the slide? So it's only example of colleague. Yes.
And also you can have a supervisor who helps you during your study, but at one point you can ask somebody else, which is it's in our faculty, or either the Business Institute or ICN, which would be very specialized on a certain point and could help you to progress in your study, of course, in place of the supervision.
One of the characteristics of the program is the outstanding level of our faculty in terms of research and also in terms of involvement. We take care to the fact that all our faculty are available and responsive to our students. So, some example of courses, Professor Paulet?
So in the thematic paradigm, we try to cover a large numbers of topics to be consistent with all your research questions. So you will have something on leadership with Kamel. You will have lectures on marketing with Philippe. You will have a discussion of issue on finance, green and sustainable finance. Rebecca will talk about supply chain, sustainable supply chain. Nicolas on human resource management, and Olivier on sustainable behavior in business. So we want it objectively to have a large panel of issues, so that it enables you to have a large diversity of topic, of research topic. And even if you have a subject, for example, in marketing, you could have at one point a question on finance, and it will help you to solve two aspects of a same question. So that's why we try to give you the more elements as possible.
For example, if you are working in the field of sustainable procurement, sustainable purchasing, we will be able, either in ICN, either in Business Science Institute, to identify if one faculty member, one professor, who is specialized in this field and who is interested by your topic, interested by your subject. One of the characteristics of our partnership is the capability of our institution to find a supervisor to all the topics that you can have. Because you are coming, all the people who are connected tonight, you are coming from different countries, you are in different industry, and you will enter the program with different topic, different research subject. And our job will be to identify a motivated professor who will work with you during the program.
Mhm.
Can you, yes, what is the process if some people are interested, how can they apply?
Okay, so you can apply or to the Business Science Institute or to ICN. Okay, both are possible. We need a CV and a research proposal to examine the possibility to follow the DBA. Of course, you will have a certain numbers of experience. Normally, it's 5 years of experience in the business. Okay, and when you submit on the website either the one of ICN or the Business Science Institute, we immediately have a look at what you have done. Okay, and we will organize an interview with me and Michel Calca to evaluate your motivation to enter this program. Why? Because as you are, all of you working, we want to be sure that you will afterwards be capable of pursuing this program. You do not have to worry, as we mentioned, that you will have support all through the program. But we wanted to make sure that you know exactly in which journey and what are the main difficulty, the main aspect you will have to solve during this journey. Okay, so please submit your research question, your CV, and we will do our best so that you have a quick answer on what you have given to us.
Maybe we can give some more explanation about the organization of the program. We said that the program is organized online. That's important. It will be session of 3 hours and a half. That's right. Recorded. So it will be the session, each session will be online with one professor teaching remotely, but it will be recorded. So because you are working, and if you cannot attend the session, you will be able to work on it later because it is recorded. That's important. And this session takes place twice a week. That's right, Elizabeth?
Okay. Twice a week. And we organize the session in a way that you will be that means the hours are feasible for all the students all over the world, so that during this session you are capable also to exchange on a certain topic. Because what is important also in research is not only to work on your own subject that you will have, but also to exchange ideas with your colleagues, so that you will see other aspects that you have not thought before, and sometimes your supervisor also have not thought. So all this exchange of discussion of issue could bring you new possibility to solve your research questions. And that's why we choose the way to organize the seminar, so that the student can meet each other and talk to each other. Okay?
Yeah, and they will meet online, and once a year there is the opportunity to meet the other students and to meet all the faculty during an international week, which takes place in Europe the last week of September. Each year, the last week of September, the faculty are here, and our DBA students, they come from all over the world, and you have the opportunity to meet them in Europe. Last year it was in Paris. This year it will be in Luxembourg.
Okay.
Okay.
We have question on the fees. So
yeah.
I wanted to say that most of your work, so that means that your enterprise partly or completely in charge the tuition fees. Okay. Sometimes some of you do not have any enterprise in charge the tuition fees. So we can say that if during the process of the program, okay, you encounter an enterprises which is willing, okay, to cover the cost of your tuition fee, we can reimburse the candidate and factors the enterprise which is now willing to take into account these tuition fees, right? Clear?
Yeah, there is a other question, and so I think that now we move to the question. Can you please give an approximate idea about the average weekly workload? That's
difficult.
Yeah, you answer first.
I mean, it's a difficult question because, I mean, it depends at the stage of your DBA you are. I mean, at the beginning, you will have to read a lot of documents, to have a lot of documentation, and to take notes on this documentation. So it will take you time, right? And this time is absolutely necessary if you want afterwards to progress faster. Okay, so personally, I would say that the first year could be the most heavy year, but it's necessary if you want afterwards to progress on your DBA and know exactly where you want to go. It's difficult to say how many hours because it depends on you. Okay, how you organize your week, when you are going to work, etc. So for me, I don't know what you could say, Professor Kalika, but
okay, my answer will be, of course, it depends on the students.
yes.
But my answer is, consider that when you will not be in your company, you will be working on the thesis. You know, you will be working or thinking to your thesis subject all the evening, during the weekend, and so on. So sometimes a student, they work every day 2-3 hours, and then they work the weekend. But you know, it's an average, and that's very difficult to answer. But generally, in smiling, I say that during the DBA process, no more Netflix, No more, no more Canal Plus and so on, and no more Amazon Prime TV series. During all the process, you will be thinking and working only on your thesis. But you must know that it is possible. I told you before that more than 135 students defended their thesis. All of them are working. Some of them now are prime minister in their country, minister of economy, another in Switzerland, and so on. They have very high position in companies. It's possible. Our process is manageable. It's manageable because we have a very strong support team and we have a very available faculty team also. So you can do it because 135 or 36 DBA students coming from 50 countries did it before. How long, another question, how long from your experience take to get the DBA? Okay, since Professor Poulet.
Less than 3 years, it's impossible. I mean, because these works take time, and you will be working at the same time. So less than 3 years is quasi impossible. I would say that in 3-4 years, you will have your DBA. I mean, it's not average numbers of years to obtain the diploma without being full every day, every night, etc. Okay, so it's feasible. Really, it's feasible.
The AMBA rules is, since we are accredited formally, the length of the program is 4 years for AMBA. In practice, the average length of the program for the students who defended their thesis is 3.5 years. But there is quite a large standard deviation, you know. Some students, they take longer, and for some of them, it's shorter. Another question is, ICN Business School offer scholarship for DBA for international students? And I will answer also to another question on scholarship. Our program is an affordable program. You can compare with other programs from institution, Triple Crown, from institution, AMBA accredited. Sometimes the price is the double of our price. So we wanted to keep our price very affordable. And the consequences is that on the side of Business Science Institute, we decided that the price will be at a low level for the 4 years. It's 27 kilo euro 0.5, and but there is no scholarship. On the ICN,
it's almost the same. Okay. Sometimes we can offer teaching if we need people to teach, but I cannot say that we have a tuition fee and scholarship, as this program is normally done for people who are in an enterprises. So normally the enterprise where you are is financing your diploma. Of course, you will have the possibility also not to pay all the fees the first year. Okay, so you will get in touch with Frederick, and he will give you all the possibility offered by the both institution, so that you have installment that are possible, and it will enable you to face and afford the program.
Yeah, you know, we are academic and we don't take care about the administrative and the financial issue. So our advice is for all the financial and administrative question, please ask to Frederic. You send an email to frederic@businessscienceinstitute.com or to the contact email, and you will have an answer. One person asked about the additional fees if the program lasts more than 4 years.
No,
I cannot answer presently to that. I think it's around 2,000 euro, I think, but Frederic will be able to answer you, and it's not a very high level. The objective is to cover the cost of the registration to the University of Lyon. Let me, while there are advantages to being in person, is it possible to do the anti-DBA program online?
yes, it is online.
It's online, yes. Are the International Week face-to-face and thesis defense mandatory? We prefer to organize the thesis defense face-to-face, but you can imagine also that during the 2 years of the COVID crisis, we had a lot of defenses online. So we think that there is an added value in the program related to this International Week. But we understand that exceptionally some students cannot participate. And, you know, of course, we are accredited, we have process, we have rules, but our objective is also your success. So we have a kind of flexibility in both institutions.
I would say also that when we reach the point of the defense, you would be happy to be face-to-face in front of your jury.
That's right.
Because I mean, it's a final point of a long process, and at least from my point of view and case, I was happy to have all these international professors in front of me to ask me this question, because I know that it was the end and I have managed to do it. So even if sometimes you will not be capable of attending lecture, even point of progress, etc., at the end, I think you will be there to be face-to-face. But if you can't do it, we can manage to find other solution for you.
I agree.
Okay.
We have a question also, are the fees the same for self-inscription registration and for registration by companies? Yes, we have. I told you that we are very affordable and we have the same pricing for people or for a company. I check, yes, the payment of the fees can be split. Professor Paulet explained that, and Frederic will be able to answer. I check how long, from your experience, takes to get the DBA. I think that we answer on that. In addition, can you also give an idea of the different percentage of occupational group of the students?
I don't understand exactly. What do you mean?
Yes, I'm not sure to understand the question. All the people who are in the program, in our DBA program and in this group, they are professional, they are working. We have no young students. The average age is 45, 46. And people are working in different industry. It could be banking, it could be advertising, it could be auditing, it could be bank assurance, and they come from different countries also. That's why we organize a session in the middle of the day for Europe. because we have some people from Asia. In the first group, for example, we have people from China, from Japan, but we have also students from the USA and Canada. And so we organize a session in the middle of the day. So early in the morning, it's okay for the American or the Canadian, and late in the night, it's okay for the people who are in China or in Japan or in Asia in general. How much students in the cohort, please?
It depends.
It depends. We have no limit. The volume of the color of the cohort is not an objective for us, because we have a very strict follow-up of each student. So it's not like in an MBA program. The relationship between the supervisor and the students are very rich, very intense. And so the first group, we had less than 10 students. Sometimes we have 7 students, 12 students in a group. And globally in Business Science Institute, we have 60 new students a year.
Okay. I think we answer almost all the question.
Yes, about the topic. You come with the topic. You come with the topic, and then our job is to find a supervisor. Our professor, they are not always specialized in your field. For example, we have a question, a field of sustainable agricultural practice management. We are not sure to find a faculty who is specialized in agricultural practice management, but we are sure to find a faculty who will be able to advise you and to help you to present your thesis. You must know that in a thesis, at one moment, the doctoral students is more competent than the supervisor. That's part of the game.
And it is the objective. I mean, we want that you are more competent than we are. And you come with a subject at the very beginning of your DBA. And while doing your research, your reading, while you treat your data, you will see that the research question is going to be transformed, okay? So you need a supervisor which is capable of monitoring what you do, but it has not to be, an expert on each thing you are doing, okay? So, as we mentioned right from the beginning, you will have a supervisor who will be the one who read everything that you are going to do, but you could also ask the advice of other professors in 2 institutes, which can give you some comments on what you have done, okay? So don't be afraid that you do not found the proper person to monitor and to supervise what you have done. It's impossible that a professor know everything. If he said that, I would be very cautious on that type of things. Right?
We have 3 more. We have 3 more questions. The first one is in which field our students are working. I will answer all the field. I gave you example. They can be self-employer, they can be in large company, they can be in non-for-profit organization. Oh, we are supposed to finish. It can be in a non-for-profit organization. It can be consultant firms. We had roughly 400 students in Business Science Institute in the creation. And I think that we cover a lot of country and a lot of sector. There is another question. Is the MBA degree mandatory? It has to be MBA or equivalent. It can be another degree. So you send us your CV and you will have in 2 days, you will have a feedback from the team.
A
There is a
master degree, it's fine also.
Yeah. There is another question. Is the DBA suited to pursue a career in the academic world? That's a tricky question, and we have to be very clear on that. If you want to be a full professor in a university at the international level, you will have to prepare a traditional PhD. First point. And that's clearly mentioned on our website. If you want to teach, to make conferences, to be associate faculties in university, in business school, yes, the DBA can help you. That's the theoretical answer. Then there is a practice. In practice, some of our DBA students, and it's not our objective. Our objective is not to transform manager in full-time faculty. But you know, people manage their career like they want. And last year, some of our doctors, they have been recruited in business school in Switzerland, in different countries, and so on. The situation depends on the people, and the situation depends also on the rules of the country.
And I would say that in a business school, the DBA is a degree that is valuable even for teaching, because you will have in front of you students whose major objective is to work in enterprises. So they want to have, as a lecturer, both traditional lecturer, professor, okay, and they are very interested to have in front of them also people who has a managerial background, okay, and with the DBA you will have both. That means the managerial background plus the experience of producing research documents. So for a business school, I mean, the DBA is really valuable as the PhD. Now, if you go to your French university, it's better to have a PhD, right? It depends what do you want to do afterwards in your life, and what are the objectives you pursue, okay?
And it depends also of the situation of the country, because in some country, in some field, there is a lack of faculty with PhD, and they ask for DBA because these people, they have both professional experience and theoretical background and ability to publish. Yeah. Okay. We are late. We are really sorry about that. You know, we used to begin on time and to finish on time. You can send any email. I will give you again the address, please. It's at the beginning.
Frédéric, you can give my email to the student also. I think that it is not here. If you could do it, it would be just perfect.
Yes, Frédéric will send to all the participants, and you are very numerous this night, to all the participants, the PowerPoint, and the email of Frédéric, the email of Professor Paulet, and also my email as president of the Business Science Institute, and you can be sure that you will receive a quick answer. So thank you very much for sharing this webinar. Thank you for the lot of relevant questions that you asked tonight. It was very interesting for us, you know, to answer that question. You can go on the website of ICN and the page concerning the DBA. You can go on the website of Business Science Institute, and don't hesitate to ask any question. the first step for the next step for you is to send your CV to the address that you have here on the slide. On the slide, you have the address where you have to send your CV. So,
or you could go also on the platform ICN to send the document, and you will try to give you an answer as quick as possible, and also to organize the interview as soon as possible also, so that you will be fixed on the possibility of
okay.
registration.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.